my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to attempt to replicate a door pull that a client sent to us. So what's the background? We have a university in Miami, Florida, an amazingly loyal, respectful, kind, considerate, intelligent client, dozens of orders with us. And, you know, he called and said, hey, I need this pull handle. I'm like, okay, great, we do pull handles. He says, well, it's got to be this one because I have 8 pair of doors in this courtyard and the client wants them to all look the same. I says, well, send me pictures. And he did, and I saw the photos and I immediately realized, well, this is going to be 1960s, would be my best guess in terms of a vintage. And I had suggested to him, well, I let the client know we're not going to find anyone that's going to make these pulls. I suggested that the client ship me a pull, which he did. Here's the broken pull. And when I study this pull, it's really 2 different parts. It's the mounting post, this piece, okay? And as I look at this, I say that mounting post, I say to myself, well, that shouldn't be too terrible to replicate. Won't be the easiest thing I've ever done, but shouldn't be impossible. And then the pull handle itself, well, that's super easy peasy. That's 1/2 inch thick, couple of bevels on either side. I should be able to knock these out all day long. There is a radius down here that you can see. We're not going to really achieve that. I'm not going to, at this time, attempt to achieve that. We're going to take some 1/2 inch aluminum. What I'm planning on is I'm going to profile cut this, give myself a 1/4 inch. I've been really liking the 1/4 inch 2-flute Onsrud end mills lately. Solid carbide. I can tell you a part number. Can I or can I not? Yeah, I think it's an AMC 700 752. I've been liking that tool a lot lately. I had moved to a 3-flute and I just don't think 3-flute is the way to go. Now, Onsrud and everybody else with half of a brain, excluding me, in the business is going to tell you a single flute. And indeed, in the Onsrud catalog, they're saying an O flute is the way to go with aluminum. I've not really dove into testing or optimizing for that yet. So right now I'm going to use that AMC 700 752. If I don't do something exceptionally stupid, that bit is going to last forever. So I'm going to do a profile cut. Well, I'm going to give myself a profile cut, okay, of the bar, and I'm going to run it really long. Now this bar is only, I don't know, let's say 14 inches long. What do we got here on this length? Yeah, it's 12 inch. Okay, so I'm going to run a piece that's, whatever, 72 inch in length, just because I have the aluminum, and I'm expecting this to work. I want to be able to make more than one of these. And what I've learned, here's what I've learned. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. No way to make money on a CNC if you're doing one-off items. Those are going to be exceptionally expensive one-off items. So when I decide to do a project like with the hand wheels, I'm going all in. I can't make a single hand wheel. I can. That hand wheel is going to cost you $1,000. The amount of time that it took to do the tool pathing the way in which I did it initially, which will be absolutely made better the second time around, just took forever to do this because I have, in my path of discovery of CNC, I can't get a pass step greater than 5/1000ths of an inch that I don't feel like I'm not tearing up the end mill and being just too aggressive. I'm just not comfortable with it. So we're getting incredibly shallow passes. And when I go from the 2-flute to the 3-flute, I'm just not getting the right, the chips end up being really small, and that's why I'm leaning towards, yes, as I go from a 2-flute towards a 3-flute, I'm really going in the wrong direction. So the next step is getting back to that O flute. But the point of, well, here's what I've learned. the tool pathing, the end mill, the path of discovery, making one-offs, it's just going to cost a fortune. So I'm not going to make one of these. I'm going to make an entire bar, and I'm going to do the easy part first. I'm just going to work on the bar. I have a couple of parts tumblers. So when this comes off the tool, the edges are going to be quite sharp, as in quite sharp. I'll put them in the tumbler and we're going to break those edges, and it actually should turn out to look really nice in the process. So what I'm trying to say is we'll be able to break the hard edges, but we're also going to be able to affect the finish of the mill aluminum, making it look more matte or possibly brushed. That's all path of discovery as well. So I'm going to do the easy part first. Then we're going to get into these mounting posts. And for the mounting post, just to, I guess, give you a little bit of a heads up on that, here's my piece of aluminum that I'm going to use for the mounting post. I got, whatever, 3 inches in here, and I'm going to run an entire length of this. I'm going to tab it. I got really good with the tabbing, and I finally have succumbed to my epic level of laziness and realized the only way to hold these parts down in the entire sheet is with tabs, because I'm using up spiral bits. So that's pulling the chips up. That's what they always tell you. Yeah, you've got upward chip removal. Okay, that's great. But what they don't tell you is it also pulls the workpiece up as well. And I know that to be fact because I have witnessed work that we've done on high-speed camera at 28,000 frames per second. And I could visually see how the up spiral bits were pulling the workpiece up. I've also seen it as it tore the workpiece off my table. So I've realized that the only way to survive doing this job is to have tabs. And here's evidence of my tabs. So we're left with some of the onion skin, ideally onion skin, just left over. And I've succumbed to the realization that we've got to have a router table taken off the tabs. And I believe that that's working out so far. Or maybe it's not. Yeah, it is. Well, I know that it is. Yeah, the bit still seems reasonably sharp. That's just a Bosch router table, an RA1181. You can buy that from us, by the way. We stock those. So far, so good. That's a work in progress. So we're going to start with the handle itself. Then I've got a piece of 1-inch aluminum here that I have super glued down to the piece of plexiglass, and I'll clamp all of this down, or I might vacuum table part of this, or both. And then I'm going to try to cut those mounting posts out of that 1-inch thick piece of aluminum, because this is 1 inch thick. And that's going to be the concept. The issue is I don't really know yet how well I have this positioned on here to get myself a piece of this mounting post out of it. And in fact, I'm now convinced that I don't. I thought this was large enough, and I can really now just see that it's not. I'm going to have to get some thicker 1-inch aluminum to make these posts, which won't be a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to start with making these pull handles. I guess we'll hop over to the CAD/CAM software and we'll hope for the best. Awesome. Thank you for going on this journey with me, and here's to not breaking any end mills. Okay, what's up next is we're going to start to tool path this material, and I'll pull up V-Carve. Actually, I've been using Aspire. I have not tapped into any the benefits of Aspire over V-Carve Pro. I've not been leveraging any of that really just yet. But anyway, it's Aspire. V-Carve Pro would be absolutely adequate for this job. So I'm going to start tool pathing this, drawing it. I'm going to start with the mounting post. I was going to start with the handle first, but let's start with the mounting post, and let's just see how awful that gets. What I'm really concerned about, what's always a concern is the approach of drawing it and doing it in as petite a way as possible. Meaning, if I've got a block of aluminum, I'm going to want to be able to cut on the outside edge of the block of aluminum so that I'm not cutting as much as needed. Let me say that a better way. I'm cutting the minimum amount that I can get by with. Tabbing, I don't want to do any post work at all. As I said earlier, I'm coming to the realization that that's required. What I have done in the past was the super glue trick, and I won't get into the super glue trick, but just do an internet search for hold down CNC super glue. I was taking super glue and like doing like this. Put the piece down, tape, super glue tape, piece, pressure, next day. What I was finding was the parts I was cutting were so small that without a continuous coverage of super glue on the bottom, those parts would break loose. So this piece of aluminum that I'd showed you earlier, it's as if I took a brush and brushed super glue, even though I didn't. But I have a continuous amount of adhesive between the two layers of tape. Now, I also have bought, because I was at ShopBot earlier this year, a couple months ago, at a 2-day training, which resulted in me buying, here's an announcement, I bought a Desktop Max ATC. It's still in the crate. Okay, fine. I'll show you the crate. Right there. Still in the crate. Right next to the dust collector. All right, so the Desktop ATC Max is still in the crate. Chris Burns is coming up the first week of January, and he doesn't know it yet, so don't tell him. But we're going to break that open, and we're going to get going on it. And him and Caleb will work on it. Caleb's one of my guys here, and he's learning CNC. So I'm going to start to draw the mounting post and just see how awful I do at it, and probably just dive into drawing this as well. Probably what's going to happen is going to be a lot of time-lapse, a lot of mute, a lot of just me stumbling through it. But my amazing video editor, her name is Imoke. She lives in the Netherlands. She will clean it up really, really well. So let's move on. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, let's start the process of drawing this material. We're going to draw the mounting post and the door pull itself, so let's do that. Every CNC video I watch is always somebody showing what they're doing. I'm just going to skip through that. Okay, so you've seen the mounting post, and this is just going to be a matter of me using a tape measure and tossing up some guidelines. And yeah, this is going to really be a time lapse. What's going to happen here? I'm not going to narrate everything I'm saying. It would be exceptionally annoying. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.